let us get into the stories, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start off. Let's talk about Sweet Baby Inc. Now, again, guys, just to give you a little bit of context, okay? I did a video and I did a live stream about this topic a little while ago. Not even that long ago. It was a few days ago. And apparently, remember, they were running damage control for Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows. They were trying to say, oh, according to experts, according to historians, according to all those kind of people, Yasuke was totally 100% a samurai, and if anybody disagrees, you are a bigoted racist, right? Not only did we know it was bullshit from the beginning, but now we especially know it's bullshit because apparently the person who they tried to use as an expert for a Japanese consultation was a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee. Now, whenever I say this shit runs deep, just understand that it does, right? It does. This consultancy group, Sweet Baby Inc., has an ungodly amount of pull in these companies. And also keep in mind, too, don't you think it's interesting that Ubisoft would employ the services of a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee to run damage control for them when Sweet Baby Inc. was made from people, half of which anyway, that came from Ubisoft? So it's almost as if Sweet Baby Inc. is an arm extension of Ubisoft to an extent, right? But it's all connected. All of it's connected. Every single bit of it's connected. And it's not too shocking. So let's read about it. The so-called Japanese consultant at Ubisoft and the New York Times used to attack gamers over Assassin's Creed Shadows turns out to be an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. In the most recent hit piece by New York Times, it appears to have been done in collaboration with Ubisoft. The outlet's Zachary Small cited a so-called Japanese consultant and translator who claimed that criticism of the game was being done by individuals in the West using translators, and that the Japanese people were not upset with how the game not only features Yasuke as a protagonist, but that he's depicted as a samurai. Now, I want you guys to understand something. I told you guys before about this entire conspiracy that these people have, that they're coping over it, right? This is cope, and there's even more proof of this. They seriously think that the Japanese people online who are speaking out against all the stuff that's happening in Assassin's Creed Shadows are just essentially white men using Google Translate to pretend to be Japanese in order to make it seem like Japanese players are upset. So if that was the case, right, if Ubisoft genuinely believes that to be true, then why did Ubisoft apologize to Japanese people? Why did they make a 4-page apology to Japanese people if they thought that all the negative discourse was white men using translators? Why would you do that? It's ridiculous. And then you also discredit, or you discount, I should say, not discredit, you discount all of the Japanese YouTubers that are speaking out against this as well. Are they fake? Are they secretly white people in Japanese masks or something? Like, how does that work? And then you also got to understand all the people that signed the petition too. Now, the Japanese petition wasn't just Japanese people, but a lot of it was. And you're discounting all of them too. So how can you pretend like none of these people exist and all the discourse is just white men using translators? But anyway, let's continue. Hashimoto told the New York Times it was people in the West who were upset with seeing Yasuke as a samurai. Small added that Hashimoto explained that many of the negative online comments written in Japanese appear to have been roughly translated from English. That's fucking nonsense, bro. That is absolute nonsense, because I remember taking some of the comments and putting them in Google Translate, and they were not translating properly because obviously it's a little bit of a different dialect. It's just the sentence structure is different, right? So if you translate it from Japanese to English, sometimes it's a little bit funny. The narrative that Hashimoto, Small, and Ubisoft were trying to spin was outrageous to begin with, given that Small had written just 2 paragraphs ahead of his citation of Hashimoto that Ubisoft attempted to assuage concerns about the game's authenticity, apologizing in a lengthy statement for promotional materials that he said had bothered some Japanese audiences. So even they admit that Ubisoft had openly apologized to what they knew were upset Japanese audiences, but now you got Hashimoto essentially trying to pretend like that's not happening. None of that's happening, right? None of it exists. So if it was just Western people, why was a Japanese political party requesting an investigation into the game? And why did Ubisoft issue a so-called apology to Japanese gamers? Holy shit. How much more obvious can you get? The Japanese government was involved in this, you remember? And not just once, twice. Twice. They got involved twice, okay? So you're trying to call them a liar twice over, which is ridiculous. Now, here's the recent information that has come out. Now, keep in mind, the person on my thumbnail is not a woman. You guys are probably thinking it's a woman because of how utterly bitchy it looks, how feminine it looks. But it's actually a man. It's a man pretending to be a woman or an androgynous person, I guess you can say. Nevertheless, it's been discovered that Hashimoto was in fact an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. from February 2020 to April 2023, as noted by his own LinkedIn profile. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Critic, games writer, and cultural consultant. He, him pronouns, of course. You have to have the pronouns. Freelance narrative design consultant. Provides consultation on various AA and AAA titles under Sweet Baby Inc. Includes work on unannounced Square Enix, Ubisoft, and Insomniac titles, alongside researching and crafting characters for upcoming titles, blah, 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 whatever. Not only is Hashimoto a former employee of Sweet Baby Inc., but he's an activist journalist whose articles are featured at Polygon, how do you say this? Siloco Nera, them, and multiple outlets owned by Gamers Group. Grum shared one article Hashimoto wrote on Medium where he criticized Animal Crossing New Horizons by acknowledging Japan's history of colonial rule. Hi, I wrote about Animal Crossing New Horizons and why acknowledging Japan's history of colonial rule is important to the discussion. Obviously, it doesn't cover everything, but feel free to read. What? Why would you talk about colonial rule in a fucking game like Animal Crossing? Bro, these are the you know who these are? These are the kind of people that when you're on Twitter and you're talking about a video game, they're the ones who tell you, "Oh, you just don't have media literacy. You don't have media literacy." Hold on, let me get my voice for this one. Give me a second.
You don't have media literacy. Okay? You have no media literacy. You don't understand the actual real story behind Animal Crossing, which is clearly about colonialism in Japan. Clearly. You don't understand, you bigoted loser.
It's like, bro, what? You seriously are talking about colonialism in Animal Crossing? Are you fucking... Like, you're so boring. You are so fucking boring. It's insane. Earlier this year, Hashimoto also wrote an article at them titled, "How Gay Can You Be in Dragon's Dogma 2?" Are you...
I say over and over and over again, I hate being alive, I hate being alive, I hate breathing, I hate being alive. I'm in tremendous pain, I'm in tremendous pain. Help me, help me, help me. I'm in so much pain, I'm in so much pain, I'm in so much pain.
These people are so unbelievably fucking boring. Seriously. You are unbelievably boring. If this is the stuff that you're writing about in a video game like Dragon's Dogma 2, you know how much shit you can do in Dragon Dogma 2, and the only thing you're worried about is how gay you can fucking be? That's the only thing you're worried about? How gay can you be in Dragon's Dogma 2, written by a gay male pretending to be a woman so he could get fucking railed?